last but not least, we will have a very interesting conversation with Mr. Lasse Reingans, who is the CEO of Reingans Digital Enabler. And what it's about. He has become a subject of attention since the Wall Street Journal reported on a great idea he had put in place at his 16-person technology startup. Actually, a 5-hour workday. They start at 8 a.m. and finish the workday at 1 p.m., at which point they are not expected to work until the next morning. Sounds great, right? And we will ask him about his motivation, why he decided to launch the new way of work, and also about the conclusions. And we will also try to figure out his personal mission around this thing. So it's quite amazing and interesting. So please welcome Mr. Lasse Reingans.
Hi, Lasse. Hi.
Hi.
Hi. How are you?
I'm fine, thanks. This is exciting.
Yeah, it's really exciting. And let me start with wishing you a very happy birthday.
Thank you. Well, yesterday, exactly.
Yeah, I know. So you see, I know quite a few things about you, but if you could introduce yourself and tell us about your great idea, it would be good.
Okay, yeah, thank you very much. My name is Lasse Reingans. I live and work in Germany, in Bielefeld. It's a little city near Hanover, roughly like 1/3 people. And I am a consultant, or I have a consultant business with 15 employees, and we started the 5-hour workday back in 2017. So that is almost 3 years ago, where we started to work for 5 hours instead of 8 hours without reducing pay or without or while honoring the holidays everyone has. So basically everything is the same. We just work less time.
That sounds really great for me. What do the employees have to do to be able to work in this schedule?
Actually, it all started by asking them if they would like to take part in this little experiment, if they wanted to work differently than before. And we, as a team, we discussed all the little aspects of work where we can actually improve our work together. So it's about cultural things, how we talk and communicate with each other. It's about processes that actually have been like that for many years and nobody ever actually changed them, although all the world we live in has changed so dramatically. So we talked about, this is a bad example, but the fax machine, get rid of the fax machine and do whatever else. So we talked about removing Excel sheets, inventing more tools, or just actually change hardware, for example, like a headset for everyone who actually talks on the phone with people, having voice over internet, like telephone, etc. And we came up with a lot of ideas. And actually we talked about the usage of Slack. That sounds like a good idea, but distracts most of the people all the time. And we talked about how we use email or how we use the telephone with clients and how we use project management tools that most of you probably know. And just came up with a lot of ideas to actually speed up all the work so that my employees and myself can actually have more time for balance, because you probably know it and people know it. The world has become faster by being always available with all the tools we have, all the communication channels like chat and Instagram, WhatsApp, Facebook, Twitter, Snapchat, TikTok, and so on. So we need a different kind of balance than we used to need like 50 years ago. And that's what we actually wanted, to have an environment where work can be better and where people can deliver good results. Because I think, at least it's for us, we all need to do creative work. We have to think, and we use our human capacities, because all the repetitive work, or much of the repetitive work, is done by computers. So people can't work for 8 hours straight. So we thought, hey, let's reduce all the things we can reduce to have, in the end, a better result and better and more happy people working for me.
Okay, you have mentioned a couple of technical things. I'm curious how the company culture became after years.
Yeah, we had supervision for all the time. Like every other month or so, we invite an external supervisor to help us and discuss things that don't go like the way we want it to go. And this cultural aspect is the one main aspect that we did underestimate. It changed a lot because in an 8-hour workday or 10-hour or 12-hour workday, of course, you always have the time to small talk with colleagues. You meet somewhere and just talk for 20 minutes, not even work related, but just there is where relationships are being made. And we scratched that out, and that is not good because we are humans. We need relations with our colleagues, and that is something that every workshop with the external supervision, actually, it was a topic. So what we did then, because we want to have like relations with each other, what we did is just offered on a free basis. We offered like cooking events, and we did team events. Of course, every company does it, and we have like a routine in meeting in person every now and then, just to go out, have a beer, and so on, which is easy for most of the people because their day-to-day life is like they have more time because they have like work from 8 to 1, and then have all the rest of the day time for all the personal issues. So it's easy to meet in the evening every second week or so and discuss things or just do whatever they want. So the culture changed apparently a lot, but we're all happy that actually we still have enough time to do the things that you normally squeeze into your normal work life on work day on a free basis. Yes.
Okay. And are you aware of any other company following your schedule?
Actually, I was amazed that it wasn't too many, because we were in the press all over the world, actually from the local newspapers to international television channels, and the New York Times wrote about us and the Wall Street Journal. I was live on Fox News, so it was really crazy. But still, most of the people are very skeptical because they think, how should we manage to do that? And what they forget is that work and life has changed so dramatically over the last years. So no, I know about a couple of companies, let's say like 10, 20, 30 perhaps, worldwide, but not more. But I think it will change because all the studies that I read about and the books I read, they're all like on our side. They say work has changed, life has changed. Why is this 8-hour schedule still in place? Although every study shows that no one can work creatively or like with a lot of brain effort for 8 hours. So it just doesn't make sense. So no, it's just like a couple of companies, but I think it will change over time.
Yeah, okay, I'm hoping. Your idea, or actually you have seen it before somewhere?
Yeah, I used to have an agency with 85 people working for us, and I quit because there were some different understandings of how to work, and then I realized that whatever I will do in the future, I will not work in this old-fashioned style. So I read a couple of books, and one of this was the 5-hour workday from an American guy with a surfboard company. And that inspired me a lot, even if I know, I mean, he changed the schedule now and he is just like a couple of weeks per year as a 5-hour day and the rest is back to 8 or whatever. But still, I thought it was really inspiring. And that is actually one of the books that inspired me to try it out myself. Yes.
It was a brave thing to do, I think.
Apparently so, yes.
Okay. So you have mentioned that the employees come at 8 o'clock and then they will leave at 1. So I imagine it must be a strict schedule. Has anyone left the company in the last 3 years because he or she couldn't fit?
Actually, this strict schedule was the schedule we discussed in the beginning. And a couple of months later, we found out that it doesn't really make sense, because we discussed this schedule because we thought it would be easier if we all here in the office and close to each other, so we can discuss problems very quickly and straight away. It turned out that we just didn't really need it, so we flexibilized a bit, because I didn't like it that people, because of starting so early, had stress in the morning while taking care of their kids, were stuck in traffic jams for a much longer time. So we discussed this openly, and some people came a bit later and left a bit later, and we just changed it a bit. And by now, since March of this year, I mean, we're all in COVID times, we're all in home office. And in home office with kids, it's quite difficult to work from 8 to 1, especially if you have kids that need homeschooling. So what we do now is we have completely flexibilized work time, because it just doesn't work in any other kind. But I think it's very important that you, and me as the owner and the CEO here, encourage the people to really work not all the time, because studies show if you give employees the freedom to work at whatever time, they tend to work more and more and more, because they really build a product, they use their brain, and after 10 hours they still think they haven't managed anything. So I encourage the company or the people working for me to really reduce their working time to 5 hours. And that's difficult. But now we don't have the strict schedule anymore. We have flexibilized it just because it doesn't make sense right now. It doesn't work.
Okay. And on the other hand, does it help to attract candidates to your company?
Yeah, most definitely. We have so many emails coming in every week. People want to work for me, because not only because of the 5 hour, they don't want to work less. They just feel that we have understood something that they want to see in the world, because they know, hey, nobody can work for 8 hours. And this is a guy, me, or us as a company, that have understood how the world actually is right now. So yes, it's a nice employer branding theme.
Yeah, I imagine the same. Okay. Yeah. What kind of companies would you recommend this way of work?
Yeah, it's a question many interviewers ask me, because they think in many industries it wouldn't work, like production or in a supermarket or whatever. And I think it will change even there, because we have robotics, we have artificial intelligence, we have things that replace human beings in areas where they don't need their brain work, because then we have computers like for checkout. I don't know how it is in Hungary, but like IKEA, for example, they have express checkouts where you don't need anyone. You pay for yourself. And I think we will see a change. So this 5 hour day will fit for more and more industries and companies. Even in healthcare, a good example right now, there are so many people working for little money, way too little money, doing very hard jobs, and work for 8 to 12 hours. And that's not cool, and that's not right, and that will not work out in a sustainable way. So we need to have like digital tools to help them. So perhaps the human beings can work in a good way with good mood and health for 5 hours, but deliver better work than before.
Okay. Can you give us insight how the company's financial performance have changed in the last 3 years?
Yeah, I have to. Let me phrase it this way. I bought this company in autumn of 2017, and straight away I implemented the 5 hour workday, and I changed the brand, and I changed the services we offer, etc. So we had a lot of things that actually affected the financial performance. But still, in 2018, running the 5 hour workday with a new brand, unknown, and with lots of different things like a new boss, etc., we were positive. So we made profit. So I think it motivated many people in the team to overperform. Yes. Yeah, so it didn't affect negatively.
Okay. Okay.
And this year again, we are very profitable. So I'm fine and happy. And yes, that's what I would like to say.
Okay. What's your biggest challenge in this kind of 5 hour working day?
Personally, it often doesn't work out for me, because now it's dark outside. It's like 5:15, and I have I wrote a book last year about it. I have lots of interviews, and I think what drives me is that I want the change in the work environment, how people think about work. And this is something that costs time, and this is something I have to do beside my normal job. So for me, the biggest challenge is I have so many good ideas that I want to spread out there, and they take time. For the rest of the team and myself also, the biggest challenge is to really be focused and be organized. And that's something we as a team discussed. You have every morning, you have to organize yourself so it just works out, and you really have to be, you have to lead yourself in a way that you don't get distracted all the time from all the many things that happen. We have one little rule that is perhaps a magic rule. We have we made up the rule that we are not allowed to do appointments on this very day, but only for tomorrow, because otherwise you get distracted by company members or colleagues all the time by these quick and dirty meetings that somebody puts in your calendar. Yes, so it's a lot about self-organization, I guess.
Okay. And I understand that you reduce the hours, but I also understand that it means so much more for you than just reducing working hours. Can you tell us about what's your personal mission?
My personal mission, I think right now we're in a process of defining an happiness index, where we actually ask our colleagues about interactions they had with clients, with colleagues, and how they feel about the task they did on a certain day, just to see and make them aware of how they look at their job. And I think this is the main topic behind the 5-hour workday. I'm a guy that actually, I think human beings are great, people are great. They would love to do a great job. No one gets up in the morning saying, today I will work like a bullshit. No, everyone wants to deliver good work. And this is something I think people share. People want to do great work until they meet the boss or until they meet their guy above them, and they destroy a lot of things. So I think it's all about culture. It's not about 5 hours. It's about culture, community, mindset, communication skills, leadership skills. And I think that's the main magic behind it that many companies don't understand. It's not just reducing work. No, it's having an environment where work happens, but in a good way for all of them, where people find happiness, where people can find their potential and use their talents and strength to deliver high quality work. I think that drives me. That's offering this area or this environment of work where work can do great, where work can be great.
Okay, that sounds really good, and I really want to live in a world where so many companies work like this. Sounds wonderful for me. And I think we will run out of time. Is there any other important detail you would like to highlight?
I think you summed it up quite well. If we all live in a world where we can work in that way, where people find happiness and potential and be seen as human beings, as wonderful beings, I think it will lead to a different society with more love, less hate, more togetherness, and less distractions and distance between the people.
Okay. So
let's work on it.
Let's work on it. Okay. Yes. I'm with you in this topic, so I will
perfect.
Share it with the other ones. Okay, so thank you so much for your time. It was a pleasure to talk to you, and I wish you all the best for the future. Thanks again.
Thank you. All the best. Bye.
Bye.